Hi, I'm Billy, and I just wanted to share my love and admiration for these guys over here. Rob Scott and Bob Doyle, they're off in the wings, getting ready to come on. I've been watching this lounge show since day one. It is freaking awesome, and you absolutely need to check it out starting tonight.
It's The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle, two veteran broadcasters who love to hear themselves talk and are somehow able to tolerate each other. Let's see if you can tolerate them as well. Here's Rob and Bob.
Dun, dun.
You're gonna have to
Hey.
put your board up. He doesn't know. The mix was awful on the applause versus the intro. I told that kid over and over and over, watch it on the applause levels, and obviously he wasn't listening.
Hey, man, he's going through a hard time right now. Why don't you lay off the kid? I know. It's usually me who gives him a hard time, but you should see his face right now.
Yeah,
You
what's it look
should.
like?
We got someone, and it is Amy. She's saying good evening, guys.
Guys,
What's that
yes.
buzzing in
And
the mosquito?
do you
Okay.
have buzzing? I don't
No.
hear any.
No, I was going to I was going to just finish out the rhyme. What's that rhyme? What's that buzzing? Is it?
I don't.
All
I
right,
have
boy, that would have been so. I needed a Letterman glass break because I almost hit
Yeah.
the camera with that. That was, I wonder what that looked like. Did you actually
I
see
don't
the
know.
pen flying past the? Did it
I
happen
saw
too
you do
fast?
this, and I heard sounds, so I
Oh,
assumed.
so I probably didn't see the pen go out. That's. Let's play it back. Replay. Oh, I don't have that set up.
Anyway, it's the Lounge Show. We're here every Saturday. Bob is at 6 o'clock Pacific
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
here in Atlanta, and
I didn't mean to do that, and I apparently can't stop it. It's just a bunch of walla walla walla. I can turn it down.
good.
Folks out in the lobby, they
Solid
couldn't get a
gold. That's
ticket.
like- you know what? The people are out there going, "How much for a glass of wine? Are you effing kidding me?"
$14. It's very standard here, sir.
It's 4 ounces. Do the math.
Right, that's why it's a good deal. Now give
Speaking
me
of wine,
give me your drink ticket.
wait, no kidding. But for you of all people, this will have some weight, some bearing. This past week, I forget his first name, but Mr. Franzia died.
Get out of
Not a
town.
bit. Not a bit. It's not a bit. Mr. Franzia died at the age of 79.
How would that
and
be a
why-
bit?
That I just came up with it and said he died. First of all, that there was a Mr. Franzia. I didn't even know the guy's last name was Franzia. I just figured that was the box of wine. And he was also responsible for $2 Chuck at Trader
I wonder
Joe's.
if I knew that at any time, but that's interesting. Really? So the Franzia guy is Tupac Chuck,
Right. It's because he was one of these business people who
who
adopts
did
the
business.
philosophy.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
who adopt the philosophy that don't make fancy stuff. You don't get rich making fancy stuff and catering to fancy people. You get rich making just okay stuff for the masses. It's the Walmart philosophy, and that's what he did with wine. And he would box the wine and sell $2 Chuck, and he made billions of dollars, man. Good for him, I forget his first name, but he made it to the ripe old age of 79, so rest in peace. I wonder if they put him in, like if his casket looks like a box of Franzia.
See, that's when you said he died, I'm already thinking box. How do
Oh,
I tastefully say box? We got an opportunity here. Is it too soon? I don't know when this guy died. I had some follow-up questions. But then you brought it around town.
I had some follow-up questions.
I did.
That's
No.
pretty good. Anyway, Mr. Franzia died, and Bob and I have a story, not that we're going to tell it because it's boring as hell, but it's funny to us, and that we had to go shopping for Franzia one time.
I feel
But
like
we
we
didn't
told
know-
this story. I could be
Have we?
wrong. I
No.
feel like we have.
Samantha told me today, I was talking to my daughter, and she told me today, Dad, even now that you're sober, you still tell stories 14 times and don't remember. So I thought that was a funny line that she gave me. Like, I always used to attribute that to having had too much to drink. No,
Sure.
that's just me. So I very well may have, or we may have talked about
Well,
it.
it's okay. I think it's okay.
My ex-wife sent us out to get wine, this Franzia, and Bob and I thought it was very fancy. And as
Right.
we found,
It's a fancy name. And she
Right.
asked for it special.
right, and her boss at that time was a connoisseur of wines.
So
and
we
told us
assumed
what-
we made a lot of assumptions that cost us
Many.
valuable minutes of our lives.
Oh yeah, it was a long haul to just go to this liquor store to buy a box of wine.
Right. Well, but first we searched the shelves forever for Franzia.
Yes.
And then we finally said, "Sir, perhaps you can provide some assistance. My friend here and I are looking for a fine wine for a gathering we're going to be having, and we're looking for, and I don't know, perhaps it's in the back, and which is why we can't find it.
The back.
But we're looking for something called Franzia. I'm assuming a establishment of your caliber has it. And he points over to the window and says, yeah, it's over by the window, and it's the boxes. And we're like, duh.
Stacks of boxes with a little bigot on
You know,
them.
by the window where the sun comes in all day.
Yeah, right. That's some wine. That's some wine. And he also came up with $2 Chuck, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's, you know, at Trader Joe's, that wine that many people, I never drank it, $2 Chuck. Did you?
Yeah, I've tried it. There was a period of time, and I'm not saying like, well, there was this time when $2 was, but we just tried it because we were trying a lot of stuff like that, the cheaper stuff. We were finding really good bottles of wine that were cheap at like Trader Joe's. I can't remember. There was one in particular that started with a P. It was like $9, and it was awesome, and we'd buy that all. It was like the fine, like if you can get that. So there were always those bargains.
Well, anyway, he passed away. May he rest in peace.
Yes, he may. I mean, it's okay with me. We can take a poll. So,
I'm digging the background this week, by the way. You got the guy sitting there at the booth, a couple of folks at the booth, or it looks like folks at the booth. They're probably robots. I don't know.
They're robots. They're robots in I guess something of a dystopian future.
Yeah, but they're still sitting in it looks like a taco joint.
It's a sushi place, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because what was the name of that place we used to go to by your old apartment? One of your old apartments.
Well, we didn't go to it. We made fun of it, right?
No, not that one. No. Atlanta.
Oh, you mean Taco Bell? I mean Taco Mac?
Yeah, I guess it was a Taco Mac. Okay. Then we would go there and shoot the breeze and have a couple of beers and get a plate of food.
They knew my name.
Yeah, and we could walk there from your places.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can so remember that time. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Me too. Bob and I have seen a thing or two. That's for sure.
So I keep before we go off on this, it's because this is just every time, and I know I've pointed at our opening countdown theme a few times, but as I'm listening to it again, it always puts me just in the exact right mood. It's got a vibe I really like, and I'm thinking when we do the lounge live on stage, we have a band who does that opening and then goes right into the piano. So we have the piano guy who can do that. And you know what's funny is because I've now heard this piano thing so many times, it's like that's the theme, that it's almost edged out Memphis Stomp as the the theme, I think.
I listened to it today on the drive back from the garage sale. I listened to the sound because the car, it's a 2017, but it has a CD player, and I didn't do that on purpose.
Okay, but
it is me. It's so me, and in fact, I brought CDs with me to test drive it because that to me is a deal breaker if I don't like the sound. And so I listened to the soundtrack from The Firm on the way home. Memphis Stomp is a really really good piece of music.
It is, and it was, and for years, I've been kind of poking around trying to find a piano thing that we can use that is at least that has a similar vibe, and that and what we use is as close as I could find, and I like it. It's in my head now. It's in there. I think we've probably used it now more than I think we've probably done more of these now than, is that possible?
Yes.
Than we did the live show back in 2004 or whatever.
Oh yeah. I think the live show was what, a 6-month period of time, a 9-month period of time, maybe once a week. No, they were longer. We would go for an hour and a half or 2 hours sometimes.
Yeah, it was long.
We would play song. We'd play a 6-minute song, go to the bathroom, get another beer, whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely making another cocktail.
Yeah, and speaking of cocktails, the boys have gathered. They're getting low down at Lambeau tomorrow. Many of the college crew are going to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, something that you wouldn't see the look of. And they're going to the Bear Packer game. So there will be some libations flowing tonight.
Wow.
And if we were doing the live show like we did in the old days, we'd be calling them. We would be calling them and putting them on the air because we would drink along with them. Like we did some partying with people over the phone with that old lounge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, we could still do that. I mean, in theory.
Well, I don't know if they're. Yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, we wouldn't be partying with them, but Oak wasn't ready when you called him at the stadium that time.
Excuse me. No, that was a one of the broadcast miracles of all time, in my opinion, that he did answer. He was at the Bear game in Soldier Field.
And he dropped the planes, trains, and automobiles line.
Yeah, and he drops the planes, trains line, and life was damn near perfect. I thought we were real broadcasters that day, buddy. I got to tell you. I mean, wow.
I was describing, Sammy's here. Look, if you're watching this, I have a favor. If you're watching this live and you haven't said hello, please do, so your name can go up in lights. You can be remembered as being here. Because again, at the end of this whole contest thing, we're gonna look for your name on comments. It's gonna be AI that does it, not me and Rob. And we're gonna find whoever has the most comments on the screen.
Yeah.
You know, that goes towards entries into the hopper. So
the hopper.
You got look.
Yes, the hopper on the lounge.
I love it.
I found a whole bunch of new audio, as you can see. I found it at work in the bowels of the drives, all the the network, and there was all these cheesy, fun, and I said, I'm grabbing them all.
Wow.
And that was one, the Heavenly Sing. And they're old radio drops.
Super Jock, yeah, yeah.
Super Jock,
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Super Jock, yeah, yeah.
Imagine recording this in the studio. Girls, I need a little more from you. A little more. Yeah, okay, that's enough of that. Imagine.
No, I could listen to that all day. Like,
really?
Seriously. Whatever that collection is, I can tell you that I could probably never get tired of it. But that is because we are old veteran broadcasters who love to hear ourselves talk.
Yes.
It's so good. Now,
and then they cough. It's a jingle, then a bit. It's a jingle. Good morning. And then they cough at the end. It's a bit, man. That's really good.
Time for a commercial.
There you go.
Okay.
And then we'll go to. Yeah, I found all these. I remember finding these on an LP the first time I came across any audio like this in Milwaukee. When I was doing radio in Milwaukee, they were like these old LPs in one of those gunmetal gray cabinets. And I opened it up, and there was all these sound effects LPs. And I brought them into the prod room. This is the coolest thing.
Oh, I know, man. When I first got into broadcasting, most of that was because the whole sound, being able to play a sound effect was the coolest thing. The first time I pushed a button on a cart machine, that's such, if it's
that's power, baby, you got power.
It's such a tactile, specific feeling to push that button, watch the green light come on, and it's a big green rectangle. You did something. It's going out over the air. The thing plays. The glass breaks, right? And then you hit another one, and it's another one, and that to me was just like.
You're painting pictures. You're painting pictures with sound, Bob. It's just
all
sound.
Right. And then I knew immediately that's what I want to do. And I would go see my dad up at that was like the biggest hooray, the most fun thing. And it didn't happen that often, but to go up to when he was working at WSB and he was the sound guy, there was only him and he was the announcer, right? That was it. And he would let me just play with sound effects and have echo on my voice, which was just the tape delay, right? Not even a reverb.
Well, when I started, I would use a cart machine in record mode, and then however much you potted up that playback, that was the reverb. That was how we call it now, wet. The reverb was.
Once I got into radio, I could do that, but at my dad's place, I was a kid. All I knew was to push the button, and he'd have the stacks of the carts, and I could just pick out which I wanted. And I've got cassettes of this somewhere, and you hear me clicking the carts around and talking and playing. I mean,
you've never told me this.
Yeah, well, see, I've been saving it for today.
That's where you got. Well, your uncle asked me today how we knew one another, and it was fun to meet him. By the way, it was a delight to meet him.
Yeah, so we have to back up now because I can't believe we're almost 15 minutes in and we haven't even talked about the one thing we figured we would talk about today.
Well, we got to it. We just, we get the stuff.
Right. That was like the monologue or the dialogue, I guess, in our case.
Yeah. We'll be right back after this. See, then I can hit time for a commercial.
Right. And then we play you.
For another commercial.
That's right.
Another commercial.
Yeah, and they do it with that snotty little.
Yeah.
That's some morning giggles right there, man. Good morning. Anyway.
So Tracey is
Yeah.
in Atlanta tending to Doyle family business. And part of that is an estate sale. We'll just say it's an estate sale. And it's a big freaking deal, and Tracey's been extremely busy, and it's been crazy. And in fact, today at this estate sale, she needed some help. And I'm like, who do I know in Atlanta? I just don't know anyone. And I racked my brain for like 2 weeks. And then finally, I thought, wait a minute, I think Rob's in Atlanta. And I went back and watched a show, and sure enough, right under your name, it said,
I don't see him today.
I can fix it. There.
Okay.
Hi, there's me, and then we come back, and there it is.
There you go.
So Rob basically went out and helped and hung out with Tracey today, and it was I have my version of it. I haven't even talked to Rob, but I have my experience of the day when at one point Tracey thought she lost her phone, and
I get right when I got there too, man. I had just arrived when
what a welcome.
The welcome was great. Hello, hugs. Oh my God, thank you for being here. I said traffic blew, and I'm sorry I'm late. Blah blah blah. Typical Atlanta. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Still traffic. Blows my mind. But anyway, grand hug, and then it hit.
She can't find her phone, and so I get a call from Rob's phone, and it's Tracey, and she's beside herself. Let's just put it that way. And I mean, and plus she's so exhausted. So everything just piles up on this moment where she thought that perhaps someone who had come through the estate sale had stolen it. And, we are people who everything is in our phone. It's the gateway to everything, right? And not to mention that, she's in Atlanta. She doesn't know how to get around without a GPS. So she was understandably, in reaction mode to that.
She wanted to grab a quick computer, like a laptop or something, and do the Find My Phone app, but there was no Wi-Fi at the time. She couldn't get an internet. So it all crunched down within 15 seconds. You could see her head spinning, like her brain spin. Oh my God! And then there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and this all is happening right now. And it had been a lot of work. They did a wonderful job setting up the sale and everything. That takes hours of work and and then there was that. And I said, well, I can call it. That's all I had. I can call it. And she goes, it's on silent. I put it on silent. I don't know why I left it. The whole thing I felt so bad. The whole room felt bad for Tracey because we've all been there in one way, shape, or form or another.
It was just so much more than just the phone, right? And I think it just clear heads. She was just too tired to be able to think. But anyway, the point is, and then I'm here, and she's basically just hoping that there's something I can do, right? Log in, do a Find My Phone somehow as her, and I'm trying to do it, and it's escalating and escalating, and then finally she wanders into another room and finds it.
There it is. Because I thought, first of all, people do steal, but I'm thinking, what do you do with a lifted phone? What do you do with it? How do you, to what end? How do you make money? It's hard to get into them. There's all these, there's some, I don't know. I'm sure I don't know what they can do. I'm sure they can do something with a stolen phone, but I thought, usually like I left it at the party. No, it's in the bathroom. You always go in your head, you go, oh no, gosh, it's gone forever. And I just screwed my life. Oh, there it is. And so then when she came out, she had found it, and I thought maybe you had helped her. I didn't know that she stumbled upon the phone while you were on the phone with her.
Oh yeah. It was whatever. It was on a shelf and all that stuff, and everything got much better after that. So then that crisis is averted, and then later I get another call from Tracey, and of course now at this point when I'm getting calls from Tracey, I have to now brace myself.
Okay.
It's just been that kind of week, and it's like, okay, I can do this. She knows. So, but this time, I read it on FaceTime with Tracey, and then Rob, and then the third person who is my daughter Catherine, who lives in Atlanta, but they didn't know she was going to come out and be there. So, and Rob hasn't seen Catherine since. Thank you for that. I have the picture, and I got as far as putting it in the computer, and then I somehow got stalled out and didn't finish getting it ready to be able to show. But I do have a picture of, forget it, I can't.
Oh,
but there we are. It's down
Bob's
in the corner there.
Look of surprise when he saw the three of us in the same shot, because I don't think you knew Catherine would be there at the same time.
No, I didn't know she was going to be there at all. And so that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a genuine look of surprise. That is not feigned or exaggerated. It was like, oh my God.
Right. And what I find interesting too about this shot, both ladies, beautiful smiles, and then the two goobers are just mouth open catching flies.
Well,
I noticed that.
That's our job.
Yeah, it is our job. Anyway, I had that all queued up, ready to go, because I thought you might get a kick out of that. And meeting it's Dave, Uncle Dave, right?
Yes, Uncle David. My middle name is, he's the namesake. That's Robert David Doyle. You met him, yeah.
Yeah, we talked for quite some time. We had a wonderful time. We worked the front table together and he got I don't know why, but he thought I was a pretty funny guy. Like these people would come up. I think I told you this. Maybe I did. I know I told Catherine, and I know I told Tracey, and maybe when we were on the call with you, I told you too. But people would come up, garage / estate sale mentality shoppers, because my ex used to throw those things all the time, and we went to a lot of her world, and that's just a different type of shopping mentality. The whole, no matter what you're asking for, I'm gonna pay less. And it's like, it's 25 cents for a whole drawer of silverware. And, and you're going to bitch about the fact that so this one lady walks into it's Uncle Dave and I were sitting there and and at the table, and she comes up to me before she even looked at anything. She goes, "Are all the prices what the stickers say? Are all the prices what's on the stickers?" This was her question. Now, I said, "Yes, ma'am, they are. And thank you." And we really, let us know. Okay. When she left, I looked at Uncle Dave and I said, "Now the old Rob would have said," because I had the line in my head, and these days I'd like to think bright enough not to say them. And I just left it in there and I said, "Yes, ma'am, thank you for being here." What I wanted to say was, "Of course those aren't the prices, ma'am. We, for hours and hours, put the wrong prices on every stinking piece of merchandise here. So you have to figure out what the real price is." What a stupid effing question.
I know.
He and I laughing and like he's a delight. He told me about some of the acting. So he met Shelley Winters, all these stories, Joel Grey.
Liz Taylor, he certainly told you that.
He did not mention Liz Taylor.
He got his picture taken in the paper, which used to be such a big deal.
It really did.
I'm in the paper. Look there. But he got a picture of a kiss with Liz Taylor.
I did not know that. If you were in the paper as a kid, like in your local hometown paper, your teacher usually put it on the bulletin board in class.
Oh, sure.
Sure. Yeah. Being in the paper was neat. So it was really cool to be there. And I had never seen your dad's place.
I think Tracy's in the room now. I think Tracey is a Facebook user, so she's watching, ladies and gentlemen, I believe. Tracey. Wait a minute.
Oh, thank you, Amy. Amy just said she loves me, and I appreciate that with all my fiber. Anyway, it was so I had never seen the house, so that was neat, and I got to get a little inside behind the curtain peek, because you had told me about so many of the hobbies and passions of your dad, and I got to see them firsthand today. It was and the neighbors, delightful people. Harry, I believe.
Oh yeah, Harry and Cheryl are amazing.
Yeah, Harry and Cheryl and the magic of Victoria. I believe her name was Victoria. Yeah, they did a lot of magic stuff together. It was so wonderful, and I got such a kick out of it. And then I thought, and tonight we're going to do the show. And how neat is that? Yeah. It was really so. And I told Bob this yesterday, because he had asked me a couple days ago if I would just shoot out there and just kind of be a warm body. And I said to him yesterday, I'm going for sure, but I'm kind of meh about the whole long drive. Boy, was I wrong. I had such a nice time. And so, yay, Bob, for asking me to go. It was really cool. Honestly, it was really cool.
It's too bad. It's too bad that it started with that little bit of angst, but I'm glad that it calmed down. And I knew you would be a good presence out there, ladies and gentlemen. So, Rob, let's hear it for him.
It's not what I was looking for.
You gotta let it die down. You deserve every hand. Hold on. Okay.
Can I go now?
Yes.
I'm just checking.
Yeah,
Wally, why can't you children ever give your parents a straight answer?
Gee, Mom, because we never know what answer you're looking for.
I absolutely love that. The G-Mom. I love G-Mom. Did you ever say G-Mom to your mom? I never did. G-Mom on account of we're going to get
quite sure I never did.
No, me neither. Anyway, so I bought because I felt I should contribute. So I wanted to buy something. There's so many cool boys and girls. This was because there's it's toys. There's a lot of toys because Bob's dad had a lot of toys, and so many things were tempting. But I don't know if I told you I did buy something. Did I tell you what I bought?
Nope.
I bought a Christmas tree stand.
You did.
I did. It's the old-fashioned red with green and it's metal. The one I have here, the one I've been using for years, is the one I got after my divorce. And you realize after your divorce, I have no Christmas decorations. After a divorce, you have nothing. So that first year with the kids, we went out and we had to buy. And I kind of went on the cheap on a lot of things. It cost a lot of money to start up Christmas. Christmas is an evolving thing that you decorate for over years of accumulation. And I had to do it all in 1 year. The kids were young. And so my Christmas tree said, meh. But I've used it ever since. But I've always wanted one of those with the bowl that's exposed and it's like the Griswolds, yes, and the twisty thing like the
screws, right? Okay.
Yes, and it was out in the driveway, and I'm eyeballing it for like an hour and a half. And I finally said, that's it. Someone's going to snatch that thing up, and you're going to be PO'd. So I went and gave my money to Tracey.
Did you ask if it was the right price? Because
I did not. I trusted.
Is the real price what's on the label?
Yeah, lady? I didn't ask that. I trust the process, Bob. I trusted the process that number was indeed what they wanted. And then I said to Tracey and co, you know what? Every year from now on, I'll think of Bob's dad.
There you go. How about that?
That's what I said to them. I actually said that to them. I'm going to think of Bob's dad, and it'll be my Christmas tree stand, and it's really cool. So it was a really
And everybody
cool
got a little case of the feels just for a second.
They did. They did. I went there for a little bit, but not really. That was a true statement from the heart. I go, this is cool. I'll think of Bob's dad at Christmas time.
As I'm watching the nature of these messages here, I'm realizing that really this show is a weekly phone call between you and I and a chat session between our friends and family. I mean, they're just like, so I'm here, they're making plans.
Right. It is. It's just like a series of texts.
I mean, can you imagine if this was like, 10,000 people watching and it's like, oh, I'm here till Tuesday. Well, we got to get to.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's just Bob and Rob are just shooting the breeze, and then everyone else is going, how much? A half a teaspoon of what? What is that? Is it baking powder or baking soda? Which I still don't know really the difference.
Oh, come on. You do so.
I don't bake. I don't really. I baking soda you put in the fridge to eliminate odors. That's what baking soda. And baking powder, I think, makes things rise. I think that is a leavening agent.
Yes. I knew you. I knew you'd even come up with the word.
Leavening agent?
Yes. I knew you'd say agent.
Okay.
You come out here with this. Well, I don't know too much about it except everything.
Oh, behave. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
There we go.
I wish you'd just waited like a minute and a half to do that, because that would have been a great time to hit Morgan.
For us to go away.
With those words.
Auspicious. He says
yeah, I got to change that stuff up. I got to change the Billy thing.
No, not anymore, man.
Well, the Billy thing, I got to do a new opening. But I just haven't had the bandwidth. I've been, I don't know, not doing that. Been too busy not doing it.
Ever traveled by bus before?
Rosewood and St. Louis. Prepare to board in 5 minutes.
Your mood's probably not going to improve much.
Oh, there you go. I found that one too the other day. I found all these fun that I'm so happy that I've got audio again, because last week I had to do the show from a little laptop in my kitchen. So this
That's
is
right, but
it
still happened. We made it happen.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And because the show must go on. That's the deal. The show must go on.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bob said, I know, I was hoping Morgan would pop in there. But
Nope, not abstract enough.
The shows must go on. Okay, didn't pick up on that. I'll say it again.
No,
The
I
show-
absolutely did. I was just not. I'm not going. That's too. The show must go on. Come on, it's too much.
All
It's got to
right.
be. It's got to be something else.
All right.
Tap your heels together 3 times and think to yourself, there's no place like home.
And with those words, Rob Scott and Bob Doyle brought the Lounge Show to another inauspicious close. Join us next week, won't you? 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for another edition of The Lounge Show.
You've been watching The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle. Join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and tell your friends and family to do the same. After all, we'd do it for you if you had a show. Probably.